Yo, what's going on, guys? I can already see a bunch of people in here. Didn't want to do the intro today. Don't have a guest. So I don't know if this is going to go on the podcast. We'll see how the conversation goes. Um, you guys can tell why I was late. I was trying to put this up. Let's see who's in here. We got Eddie, Brian, Jason Johnson, Nestor, Tech Tie. Everything good? Everything sound good? Hopefully I hooked up everything. Think everything's good. Let's see. Getting some people coming in. So what's up? Welcome to the Reliable live stream podcast. If you want to listen to it on the go, check us out anywhere you listen to those. And no guests today. We're going to do the giveaway drawings again. Let me know if you guys can hear me, can't hear me, or anything like that. I was like doing this last minute to kind of set up everything. What's up, handyman? So right now my desk is a mess because I was just trying to set up the new sign that I got in. Sounds good. All right, cool. Let me make sure that I have, I already got everything loaded up. My desk is a mess, but we'll get to that later. How's everybody doing? What's everybody up to? A little unconventional, just because I'm trying to get through this giveaway. We'll be back with the guests next week. We got Gil coming on. We got a whole bunch of awesome people coming on the show within the next few weeks, and I'm still scheduling some of the people that I want to come on. What's up, Tomas? You dig the sign? I was putting it up right now, right before the show started, and I'm like kind of tired. It's a little heavy. It's heavier than I thought, but I think it makes it good. I was trying to adjust the camera and everything because it gives off a lot of light, but I think everything looks okay now. It's a little blown out, but I'll fix that later. HVAC teacher here. What's up? So what's going on, everybody? We got the Summer Madness giveaway. I know a lot of you guys have already entered that. I just want to give a huge thanks to all the sponsors. A lot of them do watch the show, listen out there. And I got my little list here. We can probably go through the sponsors. We were giving away RLS swag. So if you guys are into pressing or if you're interested in pressing, RLS is the one that I used. If you guys have any questions on pressing, let me know. I know a lot of people are skeptical, but I've used it. I have a handful of equipment out there with press fittings. The tool is an investment, right? You got to pay a few grand to get that, but it's like anything, you invest in it and then it pays for itself in the long run. So walk-in coolers and freezers, I've used it on, not necessarily on any AC equipment yet. I don't do a lot of split systems, but I can see where putting in a condenser or something like that outside, you can just press in the two lines and be done with it. You can do the prep work ahead of time because if you're not allowed to braze or use an open flame or they give you a hassle like I do hospital work, you can braze some stubs on there or whatever you need to do, like, and I do it anyway because I braze my TXVs, solenoid valves and all that when I'm doing a walk-in cooler or walk-in box. Now I've started to see them come out with that stuff already installed, which is really cool, right? But I've seen them, or I've gotten them before where they come separate. They give you the evaporator, and then they give you the specific TXV that you need, and the solenoid on the side, and you have to put it together. So I was already doing that where I was soldering off the job site or in the back of my van or whatever it may be at the workshop. And if you do that when you're pressing and you just braze on some stubs and then take it over there, and you can do it that way where you already brazed offsite and you're just going to press there. That helps a lot when you do or when you deal with these hot work permits or they don't allow you to use an open flame or things like that. No leaks. I've actually had a few units leak elsewhere, but not the press fittings. Let's see. Okay, I don't have. All right, guys, I am on tech support tonight also, so give me a minute and I will be back with the show. I'm going to take myself out real quick. Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I'm on tech support tonight. So I had a call Walk-in cooler iced up, walked him through it, and we're back. So yeah, like I was saying, the RLS press fittings have been a lifesaver for me, especially when I need to do an evaporator um, repair where I'm not necessarily taking the torches on the roof and I need to change out that dryer, change out something else, do a patch repair. Like the press fittings really help. So, shout out to them for hooking us up with some swag. We also have the Misfits slash HVA Chicks support. I support their podcast. Jennifer has HVA Chicks as a tech support. So if you guys need tech support, make sure you reach out to HVA Chicks. She's on Instagram. You guys should know the Misfits here on YouTube, and they do a lot of cool stuff. They have a lot of great guests, good chats, and like I said, the tech support on HVA Chicks and everything she's doing over there is tremendous. So make sure to give them a follow. They went ahead and hooked a winner up with a care package, so somebody will be getting some HVA Chicks and Misfits shirts, hats, bacon scented air freshener, car freshener, and then the tumbler and a whole bunch of other stuff. So shout out to them. I saw Ryan in here. So Ryan is part of that Misfits over there. Reliable, curious HVACR survival videos. I don't know what's going on in the chat. I had to take a call for a few minutes. All right. Then we also had Global yesterday. Oh no, that wasn't yesterday. That was I believe Sunday. I did the Global, the Source. I have had their turbos, their Turbo 200s, their capacitors. They're American made, 5-year warranty, and they have these capacitors. I think it's a 200, or I'm not sure what it's called. I think they have different ones that are universal, so you can have any microfarad reading you need. You just put your jumpers where you need to on top, and then bam, you have that one there. So you can carry a couple of those and be covered for any microfarad reading. I think it's from like 5 to 200 or 175, something like that, to something. I don't know. I don't know what the rating is. I've only used it like a couple times, but it saved me when I need to put it in. And I don't leave it in because I go OEM with the parts on the refrigeration stuff, but I put it in just to get the compressor started, see if it works or not, and then I'll go get the OEM starting components. And then of course, True Tech Tools has been a big fan of the channel. Still haven't given me that discount code yet, so you can use Big Picture from Chris. You can use Survival, which is Rick's. There's so many of them. Just haven't gotten that call back to get mine. So yeah, True Tech Tools. If you can't find it locally, you can find it at your online at True Tech Tools, and they always have like that discount code that you can use from everybody. I think it's like an 8% discount. I use it all the time. The bigger the purchase, the more money you save. And I just used it to buy like a whole bunch of Navac stuff. So I got the Navac battery powered Swager and the battery powered flare tool. So let's see. My service call is a walk-in that I've never seen before. Anybody ever work on Everidge? Jesus Christ. There we go. Everidge. Walk-in cooler. It is a freezer. Walk-in cooler and freezer model. Because the problem they're having is it's icing up, but he's saying that the fans are not coming on. And I was like, are you in a cooler or a freezer? Because that only happens in the freezer, and he's in a walk-in cooler. So I don't know if this thing is not set up properly. Have you ever seen a walk-in cooler with a fan delay? I don't think I have. So he said the fans have not come on yet. Told him to give it a few minutes because it is dropping temp, but if they take too long to come on, it's gonna start icing up and having problems. Love that Dakin. Who's talking about Dakin? Happy birthday to Eddie. We got a birthday. Where are you at, Eddie? Uh, I missed that if you said that in the chat, but happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. Uh, are you in the field? How long or what kind of work do you do? Check the controller. Yeah, I'm not there. I'm they it's under warranty. I don't know if that's you, Jimmy. It's under warranty. So we don't do warranty work for that company. It's a new building that got I misunderstood him. It's a new building that was built. It's basically down the street from me. They're making this area, putting a whole bunch of new restaurants in there. So it's a fast food place that we do, and they called. I don't know if the customer called the manufacturer or what happened, but they told us go look at it and take off the ice because it's iced up. It iced up. It iced up all the way through, I believe. Yeah, this thing is. I don't even know. So it iced up all the way through. That's the inside of the evaporator right behind the motors, right? It's ice all the way through. So that thing was not working properly. Manufacturer, which would be Everidge, I assume, told us because my dad's the one that's out there right now. Basically, told him to go remove the ice and then don't do anything else and go back and look at it tomorrow. That's what they said. They're the ones that are going to be, we have to deal with the warranty with them. So to them, it's like take the ice off, check on it tomorrow. To me, like was what you were saying in the chat, check the controller. Sometimes it has a built-in delay. That's what I told him to wait for was a delay, right? If it's one of those like efficient ones, it's not going to be. Uh, it'll wait till the coil is cold and kind of do what a freezer does. That way, it doesn't. I don't know if it has electric heat. I didn't ask him, but normally, what I'm used to is a cooler runs their fans 24/7, right? That's air defrost, all that stuff. I'm not used to seeing that on a cooler, but again, it could be like some sort of efficient thing, or it could have electric heating. I'll ask him that next, and then go from there. Yeah, it's a bit frosty. Oh, and the fans are working because he stuck his hand in there and it randomly tried to start before he thawed it out. Oh, you're retired, Eddie. Well, I hope you're enjoying it, and hope you're enjoying your birthday. Yeah, off cycle defrost. It's new equipment. I've never even heard of that brand. That's a new building that went up. We don't do new construction, so we weren't the ones that put it in, but we end up being the ones that service that stuff. And it's kind of weird because that customer was the one that was doing all the IntelliGen. So I was assuming it was IntelliGen, which I'm very comfortable and used to by now. I know all the quirks and stuff on it too, but it's not. I've never heard of this brand. Outlaw. I would love to use Press if I could afford it. Uh, I was telling people in the stream the other day, um, charge everything forward, right? You can charge fees for everything now. Don't go crazy with it. But yeah, let me take another quick break. I'm sorry, guys. Let me make sure that he got it going. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Getting late here. What's good, y'all? What's up, Justin? Let's see. Lance from Solder World is going to be on the Misfits of HVAC this Saturday. I thought I must be behind. That's great. I've actually wanted to have him on the show too, but I'm really bad at scheduling. So that's awesome. Can't wait to see it. I've talked to him plenty of times. He's a great guy, great company. Him and Ben are doing big things, and I can't wait to see that. Outlaw, how do we enter? You have to go to the YouTube video on here that is titled Summer Madness. That's the one where I'm accepting the entries, and then on my Instagram, it's the logo that says Summer Madness giveaway, and then that's where I'm pulling the entries from as well, all the comments. Yo, what's up, Josh? Somebody had mentioned I think your video. I was trying to go back to it, and I got sidetracked. I was taking some tech support calls real quick. Let's see. Somebody mentioned the Dakin tour. Now I saw that video. That's going to be Jason, who's on the screen. I mean, Josh, who's on the screen right now. HVAC guide. He got to tour, and it's actually in my state because it's in Texas. It's in Houston, right? I got to tour the Dakin facility, and that was really awesome. It was cool of them to let you film that and talk to those guys and kind of see what goes on in their warehouse. Gil's code is uncensored. Oh yeah, Gil has a code too. Everybody has a code. Just use any of them. Whoever you support, 8% off. Save you a bunch of money. Let's see. Blazer here. How do you tell which way an indoor blower should be spinning in order to supply air correctly? If you're looking at whichever way it's blowing, it's supposed to be the return goes up into the blower and then out. So I mean, you can feel it, but if not, there's usually arrow indicators on them. I don't do a lot of residential, so I wouldn't be able to tell you otherwise how to check it. But there's always an arrow on the housing of the blower assembly. So when you pull it out, it's the assembly or the case, and then the cage inside that's held with like the shaft and then the motor. There should be a direction on there, like an arrow. It's the same thing for RTU. So whenever we open up, and I just had that issue with a commercial unit because we're not the only ones they call, which gets kind of annoying sometimes. So they called us that it was leaking a lot of water. And, that's the last thing that I'm checking, to be honest with you, because I'm like, well, this thing was working because we do maintenance every 6 months. So it was working the last time that I was there, and I have not been called to it. So they've been calling some other companies, to go out there, whether they don't want to pay, overtime, because some companies don't charge overtime, but it's whatever. Could not figure out why it was leaking water. I was like, it's working. It's cold. I went up to the vents. I'm like, well, we're not getting enough air. Something's going on. The return, I threw up a piece of paper and it would like barely hold on to it and then kind of fall. I was like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand. Is there a duct disconnected? Did something get redone and we didn't know about it? Like, what is going on? Open up the blower panel and I'm like, okay, it's working. Like it's not dirty. It's not really iced up. It's a lot of water. Decided to finally, after I've been there for a while, shut off the disconnect. And then I looked at it and I wasn't looking for rotation. Like I said, that's the last thing on my mind. I'm checking like the belt, if it's tight and all that. Then I saw it and I'm like, no way it's spinning backwards. Right? Turn on the disconnect. I walk up to the unit and it has the rotation arrow on it. Well, this motor was wired in backwards. So at some point, I don't think the motor was replaced, or maybe it was, because my coworker mentioned that it looked new, and he asked me, and I'm like, I've never changed it. But I think they bypassed the VFD. This is a Carrier unit. If you guys work on Carrier, they have these VFDs for the blower motor. They give out a lot. I bypassed them myself. They're pretty simple to work on. Customer never wants to pay for a new one. They're not cheap. So I don't know how this happened, but they're color coded. It's like black, blue, and yellow as your power supply to this motor. It's those colors coming into the box, into the VFD, and exiting to the motor. Same colors. At some point when they bypassed it, they mixed up like black and yellow or something. That whenever you switched leads on a three-phase, anything, compressor, motor, whatever it may be, you're reversing the rotation. So somebody inadvertently or on purpose, if they were wanting a callback, switched the wires, which was weird because all I had to do was match the colors up, and bam, it worked. So that was a weird one. But yeah, to simple answer is there's usually an arrow to tell you which way to go. And this person did not pay attention to that. Let's see. Daiken, the way that the Japanese pronounce it. Look at the product tag on the motor for clockwise or counterclockwise, unless it's a backwards inclined fan. Daikin. Hopefully that answered, and I know a lot of the guys in here are smarter than I am, so they've already kind of got you. Adrian, your background is banging. I appreciate that. I won that sign on Instagram. Didn't think I was going to win that. Showed up to my door, and it looks amazing. The sign was made by, it's on Instagram. If you look up AF Culture, they are a sign company that is machined, or what do you call it? Etched out of it's metal. So they etched out the name, cut through it, and then they put all the LEDs, to your logo. It's a little blown. It's very bright. That's the only thing I can't dim it. So I'm gonna have to mess with the exposure on the camera, and we'll see if we can get that to show up a little bit more. But it's awesome. Brian, the sleeves, I am getting a whole bunch of orders, so yours will be on the way soon. So I think I have them here somewhere. Yeah, so I ordered a sample for myself, and then decided to show them off, and now I have a whole bunch of orders that I need to fulfill. So these are the arm sleeves. You're gonna put them on. I might have to keep these for myself though, because I was gonna give these out, but I got to order a whole bunch more. So if you guys are interested, check out the link in the description, or go to reliablehvacr.net and get you some arm sleeves. They came out really cool, and they feel really good. They're super good quality, and they will protect you from the sun. I have tried to advocate for arm sleeves. If you guys are out in the sun all day, arm sleeves go a hell of a long way. Their UV protection. I don't get burnt anymore. I used to come home like super red or super dark from being out in the sun all day. I can't wear long sleeves because down here it gets way too hot and humid, and I feel like I'm going to hyperventilate if I'm wearing a long sleeve. So these are really cool. And then the benefit is, you can take them off, once they get drenched in sweat, or, you feel like they're bothering you, or they get hot, take them off. And then you just got your t-shirt on, or whatever uniform you have. And you're not, because like, what do you do with a long sleeve? You roll it up, then it gets like super stuffy up here. I can't wear long sleeves. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised. No, Angel hasn't been in here yet, right? I'm so surprised, because that must be tough, because he's from Fresno. I'm pretty sure they get pretty hot over there in California too, and their uniform is a button up. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how his guys do it. I understand that it can be like a thin button up. They can probably breathe and all that, but they're gonna get drenched and they're gonna stay soaked. I don't know how they do the long sleeve button ups. I've tried that. I can't do that. I like to wear t-shirts, so keep it simple. All right, Ryan. See ya. How are you not like suffocating if you're wearing long sleeves all the time? I don't know. I get really hot and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Max, you're from Fresno. Gets pretty hot out there, right? You get the heat waves and all that too. Let me go through the comments real quick. All right, and then as far as the giveaway, let me get back to the list that I had. I talked about True Tech Tools, Refrigeration Technologies. They gave out a whole box. I showed it on Instagram yesterday. They gave out their heat blocking putty, the big blue that we all use. I think everybody loves using that. Um, I think their drain pan cleaner, and then like koozies and lanyards. They gave me a whole box to give out, so I'm gonna give that as a care package to somebody. I love their products. The wet rag putty, it is a little messy at times, but it works really well if you really need to protect sensitive components, and you don't have wet rags on you, or you don't have water. Just take this with you, take it in your bag, and you have a way to protect those valves. Drain pan treatment is really easy to use, and of course, my favorite is the Big Blue. They have the Sub-Zero one, which if you work in freezers, you can use it in a freezer without worrying about it. And then even if you have a leak detector, right, a electronic one, you want to verify that leak. You want to check on it. Use the bubbles, pinpoint it, and then go from there. I always like to use two, so I'll use the electric or electronic leak detector to kind of narrow it down, and then either I don't see it or I need a visual. We use a Big Blue, and that kind of also helps us double check and verify and all that. Let's see, Justin, sleeves, full brim hat, and one of them new neck fans. However, you can keep cool, do it. Um, we hit up to like 115, 117, and like all these calls are just going to keep coming in because it's really hot out. So whatever you can do, I wear sleeves, gloves, wide brim hat too, and a gaiter that keeps my neck cool. I have one of those, like, it's kind of like the sleeves are like a moisture wicking material, like a dry fit material, whatever you want to call it, where they can get wet and they'll dry really quick. So if you get the neck gaiter, it has to be that material though. It can't be like the cloth ones. I use the cloth ones for like winter when I need to keep warm, but I use the other ones, the moisture wicking ones, in the summer because you can get them wet and then put them on you wet, and then it'll kind of like cool you down because it's water and it's evaporating and all that. So I do all that. Keep covered. I know somebody mentioned the pop-up tent. So use a pop-up tent, and the umbrellas. I use umbrellas too. I know it gets really windy here because we're by the coast, and I know that Subco one tends to want to fly away, but it's useful, and it's when it works. When you can get it to stay there and kind of keep you covered. Compression, long sleeve underneath. I like the sleeves because I can take them off. Like I don't know. I feel very claustrophobic otherwise, where I'm like, oh, like it'll get to me. The neck fan. You got a good one then. You got one with 3 speeds. Uh, Manny Losk. Adrian, it's me, Manny from Florida. Ordered your sleeves. Hope to see it soon. Oh, hope you send it soon. They look awesome. I do have some to give out. I do have a couple on me. I have another batch coming in. I don't know if it's this week or next week, and I have to order more. I did not. I appreciate everybody who ordered some. I did not expect them to sell that quickly. I've had a ton of orders, not like not like 100, not 50, but I've had a handful of orders and then some, and didn't order enough for the first round. So I'm gonna get them to you as quickly as I can. Don't worry. Um, and I need to stock up because I keep getting orders. My Subco broke today with wind no stronger than a fart. I'm so over those things. Mine has broken a few times. I've been able to put it back together, so it's not in perfect condition, but it still works. I don't use it. I really don't use it even weekly. It's just when I really need it. Like if it's really hot, I'm out there for a long time on one specific unit or like a walk-in cooler condenser. Um, but man, sometimes you spend a lot of time just trying to put it back up because it falls over and whatnot. So I got it off Amazon. I appreciate that, Brian. Uh, the support is tremendous. I always am amazed by it, and whatever I can do to give back, which is why we're doing the giveaway. I will order a pair when you stock up. Hey, they're on I guess now they're on pre-order. Whatever comes in right now. Milwaukee neck gaiters, awesome. I have because there's a brand called Mission. They do like the cooling towels and stuff, and they have a gaiter that's a cooling gaiter, so that's what I'm using right now. Okay, and then the other giveaway I did yesterday was for Texas HVAC Life. Now that's an interesting one because I don't remember his name, but we follow each other on Instagram, right? Just super random because I had told people, or I had like made it known that I was doing this giveaway, and I wanted it to be kind of big, right? It got out of hand because we're at 13 prizes right now. But this guy, Texas HVAC Life, came to me and was like, "What can I do to give away? I have all this. I have all these tools. Just let me know where to send them." So it's really cool of him to participate in this, just like Jen and the Misfits. Those are not big companies, but they wanted to help out as well. And he gave a whole bunch of Klein tools. I think he had a fill piece, probe thermometer, and he's going to give away like a shirt of his and some other stuff. So big shout out to him. Um, really appreciate a fellow tech and a fellow Texan coming in here and trying to be part of a giveaway, because the people that I asked, personally, were the big companies, right? They have things to give away. Um, and they're really supportive. But the guys that came to me, I'm really appreciative for them. Which Jen, HVH6, and Misfits of HVAC came to me. Global actually came to me. Their Texas representatives. Texas HVAC came to me, and Field Piece came to me. The HVAC Visionaries came to me, and then even Ben from HVAC Tactical volunteered, and then Vito volunteered as well. So really appreciate all those people. We're giving away today. We're giving away my pack, so that's going to be my care package. So I have the sleeves. I have a koozie to give out. So it's going to be I call it the Punisher skull. I don't know what to call it. The skull koozie. I got a patch to give out. This is the bleeding skull. I still love this one. So I got a patch to give out. These are for sale too. You can buy the patch. You can buy the koozie. I use them for energy drinks and sodas from time to time. And you can order the sleeves. So all of these are for sale in the link tree, and I'm going to give them away on this first drawing. And of course, some stickers, and I have some other stuff that I'm ordering, and I'll have all that by the time that I send this out. Oh, and I have an extra hat to give out. So this has been sitting around in my office. I'm going to put all this together, and we're going to give that out. Let me get my tablet. And I really appreciate everybody who has supported, watched the channel, the Instagram, even the TikTok is doing pretty well. Tony, what's up? I'm about to draw the winners. We'll do the Field Piece one after this one, or after mine. Yeah, we always have the best people on the chat. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Let me see if I can pull this up. All right, so let's do the reliable care package. All right. Testing to review. I think that's from YouTube. I'll reach out to him, and then he's going to get all this swag. And then let's do the Field Piece one, which Tony, I appreciate you stepping up. So let's do the Field Piece one. Oh, I don't have I had a box of the prize, but I don't have it with me. And I believe this is another YouTube winner. So Dylan McKinney 3405. I will reach out to you, and you are a proud new owner of a Micron gauge from Field Piece. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Field Piece. I appreciate that. I love that thing. I have one myself, and it's been great. Super durable. You can flip the coupler over if you want a different angle. Hooks up to JobLink. I use JobLink for everything. I have the probes. I have the manifold. The vacuum pump, the scale. I have everything, and it hooks up to one app. All right, guys. And on that note, yeah, I'll reach out to Dylan and testing to review. Yeah, the MG 44. Okay, got another call coming in. Stick around. We're almost done. Give me a few minutes. I'll be back in a few minutes. All right. Just had to verify some stuff for work tomorrow. Looks like I'm doing a warranty call on that walk-in cooler. All right. Let's see. Love that logo. Let's see. The spring for the batteries. I've had mine for a year. I haven't had that issue. I use it maybe every other week. We don't do a lot of change outs. So the spring got weak. Has it broken off? Has it rusted? Usually, I've never had an issue with this one, but if you have issues with the spring, if they're pushed down too much, you can, kind of hold the base of it, but pull it out, and then it'll give you a little more of a tighter fit. Field piece, yeah. If you reach out to them, I'm just saying that's what I've done on other stuff that I've had issues with the batteries being loose. You stretch out the spring, and it kind of solves that. I don't know why that would have happened in your case, but uh, just a thought. Oh, that was Justin. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you stretch it out, maybe that'll help. All right, let me double check any questions that I had. Of course, Jennifer wants to know if anybody wears Crocs. Um, so field piece. Now that Tony, yeah, you're still in here. I just saw your video on the hoses. I think that's really cool that you guys did the hoses because like I'm all about the black style, right? The red, blue, and yellow gets kind of old. I think the black looks way better on the S-Mans, right? It's black and yellow. You can kind of keep um, that look, right? That nice look going on if you have the black hoses. And I had seen somebody, yeah, the hoses are out. I had seen somebody say something about like in the comment, and I commented back, but they had said, shouldn't we know what hose goes where without those indicators? I think those indicators are amazing. I love that they're optional, right? You don't need them if you don't want them. But to my point, I have a pair of black hoses that I bought online, right? I ordered them because nobody really has them. This was like a year or two ago, and I had to put tape, like colored tape, around the ends just to kind of make sure. Like to me, it's more aesthetically pleasing, but I've done this plenty of times where I'm trying to put them back on the manifold, like to store them away and put them away, and I end up crisscrossing the hoses because they're all black, or I have them all loose and hanging, and I go to reach, I'm like, oh, I need, my low side or whatever, and I reach it, and then I put it on, I'm like, oh, that's not the low side, and I always end up grabbing the wrong one. So I really think it's cool that you guys have those little clamps that are the red, yellow, and blue, and they're optional. You can put them on there, or you can buy extras, whatever it may be. And nice little indicator, nice little touch. And I love the option on the straight fitting, the low loss fitting, and then the basically the ball valve. So I can't wait to get some. I was looking. I think they're on True Tech Tools. I need to decide which one to get, and I'll probably put them on my S-Mans. Black is the new black. But yeah, I saw your video today. I thought it was really cool. So yeah, we can definitely talk about that. For now, it's actually an industry standard that they have some kind of indicator, and I can understand why. Uh, it's a it's a thing, right? That's our indicator. There's there's a reason for them. I don't want to go into it too much, but yeah. Yeah, and black is really cool because like I said, it goes with the S-Man color. Um and like I don't know, like especially on those, having the black is just more pleasing to look at. And then your hoses end up all sorts of other colors, right? They get all black, all dirty, all crazy, and you won't see it on the black hose. All right, guys. I don't know. Let me look through the chat. If you guys have any questions before we hop off, um, put them in caps so I can see them. I appreciate everybody for coming out. Um, who was that right now? Your logo rocks. I appreciate that, Eddie. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. It's nice to have an indicator because, like I said, I've grabbed the wrong one. I have black one. I have black hoses that I got. I forgot the brand. There's something Pro HC Pro, or I don't remember what the brand is, but I got them because they were black. And I've plenty of times grabbed the wrong one. I mean, I realize it, right? Because then I look at where it goes, but then like if they're all like crisscross or jumbled together, you don't know which one you're grabbing. Single gauge. So like the stubbies, or like you have like the hose with it. Um, I have those in my maintenance bag. If I just want to check some pressure, get a quick reading, you know, the the manifold, the S-mans are really only when I'm doing new equipment or doing a big major repair where I kind of need a visual and I can have the gauges hanging up and I'm doing other stuff. Um, or if I'm doing a really small system in a hospital, or something where I want to take one thing that does everything, right? The manifold can do the vacuum, can read microns, and it might take a little longer, but it's a really small uh, cooler or freezer that I'm working on. And, my True Blue hoses, my big half-inch hoses won't even fit in the compartments. So I have to pull through a manifold or through quarter-inch hoses that I hook up somehow together, but the manifold, I'll pull through it when I need it or when I don't have the space. And then it's handy to have on like startups. I still have a pair of analogs. I just got the Navac analog set it was free with the purchase of a battery tool. So I have the analogs as my backup, S-mans for new equipment, startups, big major repairs, stuff like that. And then I have the probes, the field piece probes on daily service calls because they fit in my bag, right? They're in my bag. I don't have to go back for gauges. I don't have to worry about them taking up too much space. I have the probes and the clamps, and I can check pressure if I need to. You should do that very last. You should always check your electrical first, your airflow, and all that. But the probes, they don't take up any space, and I can have the probes and the clamps to check superheat, subcool, and my charge. A blackout manifold gauge. The closest you're gonna get is that the Navac one. I have the Navac. It's black and orange. I bought, like I said, I think it's called HC Pro. They are black on the readings inside. They are red and blue, but they put black rubber boots on them. So technically it's blacked out. I had those for a little bit. I turned them into stubbies now, but I took off the boots. Oh, Jason, I just got the Navac as well. Really nice analog for refrigerants, good for reefer guys. Yeah, I actually thought that it only had like 2 or 3, so I was like, how am I going to use it? I had to look closely, and I was like, oh, it has all of them. Now, granted, some of you guys might still use all these refrigerants, right? 410, 22, 404, and 134, right? Um, 22, I think a lot of supermarket guys and some residential guys that don't want to convert um, the system, they still carry R22. They might use that, but that's really not used anymore. We've already converted everything that we had from R22 to a replacement refrigerant. Uh, for us, 407 has worked out really well. 404, we do a lot of, but as you know, it's also getting phased out, right? So um, that one, I think it's going to take a long time, especially down here, because everything is 404. It's going to take a long time to see that one completely gone. So I'm still using that one. 134, I've actually stopped seeing. We only have one account. Maybe if we get another older restaurant, I'll see it again. But we only have one account that is a hospital, and they're in the process of basically if any other old reach-ins um, goes down with a major repair, when we give them a quote, they're going to be like, "That's too much. We'll just buy new equipment." They really only have like out of like 8, 10 that they had there with 134. I think they only have like 2 left. They already replaced a good amount of them. So I'm not seeing 134 anymore, but it's nice to have. My car still has 134, so that's where I use that when I use my analogs. And then 410, we're already seeing a replacement for that too. That's crazy. It's funny though, because I had, yeah, the blackout, work your magic. We're gonna make field piece go to strictly blacked out. Um, it's funny because I've actually had people tell me, of course, you get these weird comments when you do YouTube, when you do any social media where you put your work out there. And I was getting comments, I guess, disagreeing with me or calling me out for recommending new units on a 410A system. They're like, 410, that thing is brand new. What are you talking about? I was like, dude, do you know we're in the year 2023? I don't even know when it came out. I don't want to look it up right now. But 410A has been around for like 20 years already. Like it's been a long time because they were talking about 410 when I was in school 15 years ago, 16 actually. Um, where like that was a new thing already. Like it's been around that long where that system is over like or close to 20 years old. If that equipment was not taken care of, if it's by the coast, those don't last as long. After like 20 years, you want to consider a new unit, especially on the commercial side. If all the fins are falling apart, if the repairs are getting like super expensive, your evaporator's leaking, it's rusting out, you can't repair every single thing on it, right? So I thought that was funny. I had to tell him, like, 410 has been around for a long time now, right? It's you can't base the age of the equipment on that. Let's see. I use 134. on chillers. So the 134 is still big in chillers then. $134 in the E20 van, yeah. I heard they're putting 134 back on vehicles. Really? What is this, Jason? I got 3 jugs of 22 yesterday for a 65-pound circuit. $5,175 for 3 jugs. That is why right away I was like, nope, we're not paying for that. You can either get a new system, or we will do the conversion for you and buy another tank that'll cost us like 500 bucks for the tank, right? Which is still ridiculous. I think some of them have gone back down into 400s. I haven't checked recently. Still ridiculous because we used to buy all this stuff for 100 bucks. All our tanks were $100 each, on sale for like 85 bucks, and this was right before 2020. Like right up until 2020, and then everything happened, and I'm like where did we get to 500 now being the normal thing? No kidding. When I started, jug was 65 bucks. It wasn't too long ago that they were way down in price. Yeah, I don't know, Nestor. They were like 410 is brand new. I was like, no. Go look up the date on that. I sell 22, $800, 25 pounds. That's a pretty good deal. Less than $1 a pound, really? You're working on a 60-ton RTU. MO99 is a new R22. There's so many. There's the 427s, the 407s, the MO99. I believe Tony mentioned another one, 454. So many of them. It's basically your choice of flavor. The only issue, or the only thing, is I ask that you guys please label these things, because I've gone up to systems and people think that you can drop in just about anything with the R22, and then you have all these weird problems where it's like full of charge, everything's working, but it's not getting cold enough, or your pressures kind of look a little funny. Most likely it's because they mixed them, especially if it's R22. I've had plenty of those where I go to it and I'm like, nope, let's pull it out, put in what we are using, and make sure that it is a what do you call it? The same refrigerant all the way through. 454 is, I get them confused. Oh, I'm thinking of 449 or 48, whatever it was. 454 is a, let's see. I've never seen 454 actually. It's a Zeotropic blend. I've actually never seen that one. 454 is Carrier. Got it. As early as 2002. That's what I was saying. It's been just about 20 years. Pull it and recharge. It happens more than you know. And I've seen other guys that post, content, and they don't know what's wrong with it. As soon as they pull it out and then kind of weigh in either the original R22 or something that they're using, it works fine. So at some point, somebody had mixed in a refrigerant, which is a weird thing, right? refrigeration can be a little forgiving at times, where if you mix it in, I've seen it happen, it'll work. Might not work great, but it'll work. And then, they'll think that they fixed it, or they think nothing ever happened. And then it has issues later on, or when it gets really uh, hot and there's a high heat load on it or something like that, where it's struggling to keep up. But that's the whole thing with that, is like when people say that it works for them, or they don't purge with nitrogen, or they don't even vacuum. I've seen that too. And they're like, nothing ever happens, it's working. They might not get the call back. Somebody else might have to deal with it, which I've had to deal with plenty of times. And I'm like, nope, I don't trust what happened here. So let's pull the charge. Let's vacuum it down. Let's check for leaks. Let's do everything we can, and then put in new refrigerant, and then go from there. It might work, 9 times out of 10, it probably just works. Because I've seen a lot that are being mixed. And here we go. Jason just found mixed refrigerant last week. Somebody dumped 438 on R22. Now, how did you find that out, or how did you know that happened? Were you checking it, or did somebody tell you that they did that? Not pulling a vacuum. I've seen it. I've worked with guys, and it works. It's weird, but it works. It might not work for long. It might not cool down as much as it's supposed to, but it works. Same thing with the mixing refrigerants. I've seen it. Whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, you got a fancy analyzer. I've seen those. Those are really cool. That's really cool. That's a really cool way to verify. Whenever I see it, I know something's wrong. I know something's wrong. My pressures look a little weird. Everything else is good, and then it's not cooling. I'm like, what is going on? It has to be mixed or something. Money signs. From what I understand, they are expensive. I'm assuming that's your company's analyzer, right, Jason? If you're changing big bucks, our new shaft alignment tool, I heard 10K. Yeah, those. Well, he does industrial. They have the big equipment, so they have the big tools for all that stuff. Handyman, if I change the unit from R22 to 410 and don't do 11 RX11, the only reason you're purging is to get all the old everything out of the system and the oil. You might get contaminants. You might get some of that mineral oil still in there. Yeah, there you go. I understood you. R22, 410, R11. And I know there's a reaction too. You want to sweep the lines because you're going from mineral oil to POE oil. Yeah. And you're not supposed to mix, or some people don't even like using the same line set. Yeah, I think it is acid. That's what I was saying. There's like a reaction to it, and it'll mess you up further down in the future, like you said. So you want to make sure that you sweep. You can sweep with nitrogen at least, but try and get everything out you can from if you're reusing the line set, because most people just like to use new lines, which is fine. I reuse lines, so we do the R11. We do flush out as much as we can, just so you don't have any cross contamination. It's mainly with the oils, and then the oil has residual in it, which is a refrigerant. If you've ever tried to sweat out a compressor, or if you ever try to sweat out a compressor and you get those little flames that come out, that's because it's boiling off in the oil. So there's refrigerant that still gets trapped in the old oil. And if you're doing like a vacuum and you shake the compressor, refrigerant will boil out as well. So that's why you really want to get all the old oil out, if that makes sense. I've been using the pigs with the nitro. Nice setup. Let's see. Be careful. Oils are different and the pressures are much higher. Yeah, you have to retrofit that equipment, unless it's newer. But I don't even think they make them like that. But because I retrofit a lot of older equipment that's like R22 and 404, and they are those, but that's refrigeration equipment, and the coils are rated for R22, 404, I think even 134, and a few others. But you need to change certain components, obviously, right? Like the TXV, and then make sure your compressor is compatible. Yeah, like that's what I was saying. Like AC units, it's a little different. I don't do a lot of AC, but on refrigeration, you got to look at the label, and it'll tell you the design pressures and then which compatible refrigerants that coil specifically is for. Yes, sir. Large boilers, gas-fired equipment. Let's go, Jason. Jason is the man if you want to talk industrial. Combustion analyzers all the time. That's right. That thing is sick. It looks really cool. I don't do any of that kind of stuff, but it looks cool. Jason would be the pro in the chat here. Which coil clean brand do you do your maintenance on commercial? Any suggestions? As far as cleaners, I really only use Refrigeration Technologies. I don't have the box with me, but I have stuff that I'm giving away. I'm waiting for them because that was yesterday's drawing, was for their big blue cleaner and all that. I use their Viper Venom packs. Now I have one of each. I have the evaporator cleaner, the micro channel safe cleaner, and I have the brightener. Now, no matter what, I'm not using the brightener anymore. I stopped using that a long time ago. I used to use the new Calgon one, the new Bright, I believe, and it's very corrosive. It takes off way too much. You can accidentally leave it on too long, and that's the blue one. Refrigeration Technologies also has their version of it, a blue one, but I stopped using the blue one a long time ago. Now, if you get it in your eyes, if you get it even on your hands, It's very acidic. It burns. It hurts. Switched to the micro channel safe ones. I do use those once or twice a year on equipment, and just make sure it foams up. I use the foam cannon, foam it up on the cleaner on the coils that you're cleaning. Let it sit for a few minutes, and then rinse it off. Rinse it entirely off. Some people don't even. I think I posted something about that recently, and some people tell me that they don't even like to use cleaners because they feel like it's messing up the, I don't know, the coating, the coil, something. But if you use refrigeration technologies, I will say they are they're very safe. And right now they have, I think HVAC Ash is their new social media representative, and she's trying to um, promote. Like, obviously she's promoting their stuff, but she's trying to bring awareness to what they bring versus other brands. If you look at her thing right now, is if you look at the back of the cans or the back of the bottles that you're using, um, compare the warning labels. All the other ones have a lot of warnings that they're dangerous, hazardous, all this other stuff. Personally, I've always used refrigeration technologies, or I switched to them a long time ago because they're food safe. They're just in general a lot safer to use indoors because I work indoors in kitchens. I do a lot of kitchen refrigeration, so they're a lot safer. If you get it on you, it's not a big deal. They're pretty safe. So in turn, they're safe on coils too, especially the microchannels. So we use the Viper Venom pack. So it's going to be the yellow one, the condenser cleaner. We use the aerosol cans, which I think they're just called Viper Cleaner. So it's a red aerosol can for smaller equipment. You can do bigger stuff with it, just it takes a lot longer. And we stick with those. Those two are the main ones that we use for maintenance. The aerosol does really well to get everything out on these really, smaller equipment, and the venom packs, they foam up really well. Yeah, coil cleaning is calming. I get really bored though, so if I have other calls to get to, I'd rather be doing that. But a nice PM when you have the chance to take your time is pretty good as well. Later, Tomas. See you, Justin. Later, Jason. Nylog White is also fantastic. Works really well with weeping glycol. That's interesting. Later, Eddie. Best commenters ever. You got that right. All right, I think that was it. I was just getting through the questions. Um, Someone asked, "What's the best shop vac?" I use a Milwaukee battery powered one, the M18, I believe. HVAC J, what's your favorite Canadian HVACer and why is it HVAC J? HVAC J 604 over on Instagram. I appreciate you, man. I don't know if you're gonna watch tonight, but you make me laugh, and you don't take yourself too serious, but you are smart as hell. I appreciate you, man. Um, and then True Heating Colorado. I believe that's Logan. I don't think I've seen him here, but or here tonight. Um, I didn't understand your question, but you said, "Do not let your mistakes define you as a technician." We'll wrap it up there, right? Um, Everybody makes mistakes. If you're not making mistakes out there, you're not even really doing work, in my opinion. When I started, I did so many mistakes. I learned on the fly. I had to learn on the go. I didn't really have too many well-rounded people around me to learn from. I did a lot of learning on my own, which is a whole bunch of messing up. So I burned holes through copper. I've burnt up electrical components, wired things wrong. Uh, I've done a lot of stuff that I've messed up on, but that makes you better the next time, right? So your mistakes don't define you, like he said, but you learn from them. So as long as you're not making the same mistakes over and over and over, you're fine. Um, you're gonna learn from them. You're gonna make mistakes. Like I said, burning a hole through copper, uh, it can be fixed, right? I know I need to do like more videos, more helpful videos, and brazing was going to be one of them. My techniques, how I patch big holes or when you burn holes through copper, um, how to get those tight spots, all that kind of stuff. I had to learn all that on the fly, and I didn't have anybody to be like, "Oh, I messed up. You do it." I was the only one doing it. I worked for a residential company, or I rode with them to get my experience, to get my contractor's license. But I never had anybody that I worked with. I think only one guy actually, right before I got my license, that helped me out a lot. But he wasn't there all the time. He was a subcontractor for us. He didn't hold my hand doing all this stuff. I had to learn all this as I went. So, anything that you mess up can be fixed. Do not be afraid to make mistakes. You burn a hole through that copper, you can patch it up. You wire something in wrong, take the time to read a schematic, step back. If you blow something up, you burn something out, or burn a board, or whatever it is, it's going to cost you a little bit, but you can replace that part again and fix it. You're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to be a better tech if you just get better every day. So I wouldn't worry too much about the mistakes. Everybody makes them. If anybody makes fun of you for mistakes, um, don't pay any attention to it. Everybody makes mistakes, and if they're perfect, that I don't believe that whatsoever. So just don't worry about it. Don't get down too much if you guys are new, or if you guys are like me. I'm still making mistakes to this day. Learning new equipment, we're constantly seeing new things come out. Everything's going digital. We're getting new refrigerants. Whole bunch of things are changing in this HVAC field, and you have to learn how to adapt and get better. So yeah, mistakes, own them, learn, and keep moving. Right on, Jason. That's the only way to do this thing. If I worried about it, if I let it bother me, I wouldn't be able to push forward or be a better tech. And I will say that it used to bother me, but like to where I was upset at myself. And I took it home with me, and I let it eat at me, right? Couldn't sleep. I would be worried about it, whatever it is, but that's because I cared, right? So don't let it get to you. Everybody makes mistakes, and you can fix these mistakes. You can make it worse, but you can also fix them. LED, I made a rookie mistake. I turned off the power and told the customer to change the fan motor on the condenser. I turned the power off and told the customer I had to change the fan. Oh, I had to change the fan motor on the condenser. Honesty is the best thing, right? If you're honest with your customer, they appreciate that more. And I used to worry about that a lot, where I screwed up or I didn't know how to tell the customer something, and all I had to do was just be honest. If you try to hide it, if you try to blame it on something else, if you, I don't know, anything else is not the way to go about it. And if you're honest with the customer, they will respect that. And in the end, it won't bite you. And you don't want to be trying to make up lost money here and there. Yo, we got Angel in the house. What's up? What's up, boss? How are you doing, baby boss man? Boss in the house. Orale. I always GP. I always cut it straight with people, and it has always served me well. That's the only way to do it. Angel, we got Angel and we got Rich in here. What you up to, Angel? Better be Rich. No question tonight, Angel? You showed up real late. We're about to hop off of here. Get in the trade and you'll make money. He makes me feel like might pay me a visit. All right. If you no other questions, I'm gonna hop off. We've been on here about an hour and a half already. Angel, you're super late, by the way. Make me an offer at current reviews. Just got home, working those long hours, getting it. All right. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. And hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I'll see you guys.